The disgusting science of junk food. I like how the first frame of this video is just like the United States flag. This is just a flag of obesity.
71% of Americans are overweight.
And
like, genuinely, I didn't know that was the first line.
and this is the biggest culprit.
Drive down any American road and you'll find out why pretty quickly. This isn't news either. It's been over 24 years since the CDC recognized that obesity had become an epidemic. So why hasn't anything changed? The more research I did to find out, the more I realized how intentional this all is. These companies—
Okay, wait, this is the one solution to make everything better. If you increase the amount of gyms and have more gyms than fast food restaurants, mathematically, there's less places for people to go to get fat and more to get healthy. Oh, that's the tech. Make me president. I'm smart.
Companies have built a system on addiction and are doing everything in their power to keep you hooked. But it wasn't always like this. 1921, Wichita, Kansas. After 5 years of running food—
Why are we just randomly in Kansas? Okay, hold on. What?
1921, Wichita, Kansas. After 5 years of running food stands and diners, Walter Anderson and Billy Ingram launched White Castle. They had a concept to serve quick and easy
that's
food that would
a
be
long time
consistent
ago.
and
What?
reliable. Hamburgers were the perfect fit. In 1906, a book—
Has anyone tried White Castle? We don't have that in Canada. I've never tried that in my entire life. I low-key want to, though. White Castle and Whataburger. Those are the two that I want to try from America, and In-N-Out. Haven't tried that either.
called The Jungle exposed the bad practices of the beef industry, and burgers were thought to be made of the lowest quality meats available. So White Castle knew that they had to fight against this and show exactly how clean they actually were. To do this, White Castle built out a system where every inch of the grill was optimized for bread, burgers, or whatever else they were serving. This systematic approach, paired with allowing customers to see their food getting made, showed how high quality their products were. From the
Is it trying to tell me that good fast food came before bad fast food, and then the good fast food got corrupted? So White Castle was the OG pioneer?
very beginning, White Castle was successful, expanding outside of Wichita within the first year. Fast forward to 1927, and they added a new option where you could take out your food instead of just dining in. Despite only really being popular in the Midwest, White Castle changed the perception of beef nationally. People started to really love burgers. This takeout model helped spawn drive-in restaurants, where you didn't even need to get out of your car to get served.
That's crazy.
Drive-in burger spots were innately American experiences.
Oh, so this was the OG, like, sedentary catalyst. Wait, using big words? This is the OG catalyst of, like, making people fat. You don't even have to get up to get your food now. We're gonna come to you and bring it. The funny thing is, we don't even have this nowadays. I guess the evolution of that is the drive-through. Chick-fil-A still does it, where they bring it out to your car, right? Or they at least have, like, the people that come out to your car and they ask you what you want.
After hours or maybe even days of driving the open road, you could stop in somewhere and get a meal without even getting out of your car. The highway infrastructure is one essential piece of American culture, and that experience of drive-in restaurants just elevated that experience even more. Plus, burgers were easy to eat, so they fit right in. A ton of other hamburger chains popped up over the next 20 years, but one stood out from the rest. The McDonald brothers came up with a concept to fully automate their—
Oh my gosh, the origin story of the goats. Everyone lock in, take your notepads out, because these are the pioneers of being fat, okay? These are the people that made obesity. W! Let's freaking go. If you use 5 droplets of ketchup, you're corny as hell. Like, what kind of perfection is this? Just spread that thing, bruh. Just go like, that's what I would do.
kitchen for the first time ever. Every piece of the production process fit like a puzzle piece. It was a perfect art form of productivity. They opened up in 1948 and absolutely blew up.
Why does the food look way better quality back then? Am I tripping? So that's McDonald's, like, what, 80 years ago? Chat, the burgers do not look like this nowadays. I'm telling you, this looks like real meat.
Production process fit like a puzzle piece. It was a perfect art form of productivity. They opened up in 1948 and absolutely blew up.
Look at the bun, how fluffy it is. Nowadays, it's like some slimy, like...
Ray Kroc came along and helped the McDonald brothers expand outside of just California, and fast food continued to expand nationwide. Competitors like KFC, A&W, Burger King, and more helped fast food to become an American staple. Think of the golden arches or the rotating bucket.
Yo, everyone, like, at that time when they saw McDonald's blowing up, what's a really unhealthy thing that people would die for? Fried chicken. Fried chicken, tacos. Okay, you got onion rings. Okay, everyone's trying to think of the one thing that no one's done yet. And that's how Taco Bell came to be. That's how KFC came to be. Chicken nuggets. And then it just became a big, like, okay, just an explosion. I guess it started with hamburgers, though. Hamburgers were the pioneer. So, W Hamburgers for starting obesity.
Of chicken that you'd see on the side of the road. These became a sight in all sorts of American cities, and that's when you knew that fast food was the real deal. In 1970, Wendy's took a spin on the drive-in model, adding a window instead and allowing you to drive through instead of drive in.
Wait, Wendy's was the pioneer of drive-thrus? Dude, so it's like all of the Avengers of fast food came together to make us obese. Let's go.
Every fast food chain loved this, and they took that model basically right away. And other fast food options like Chinese takeout and pizza also started to grow across the United States. But there was just
Damn, so pizza was later.
That's a lot of food, man. See, now's the time of the meal when you start getting the McStomach ache.
since the 1980s.
The McStomach ache. That's funny because it's called McDonald's and he got a stomach ache. Let's go. The frick? Who played that song?
Fast food has gotten increasingly more unhealthy. As the fast food industry grew, companies had to get more and more products out to their franchise restaurants, meaning more preservatives and lower quality ingredients became the norm.
Oh, that's why McDonald's burgers look this thin nowadays, and back then they looked real. That makes sense. Use less real stuff and use more fake stuff so they could up the quantity, even though the quality is absolute trash. Dude, that's smart. Is it good for the general health of the public? No.
At that fast food companies started to go public on the stock market and profits became priority number one. Cheaper ingredients and cheaper production became the biggest focus for shareholders. But that's where the problem lies. So the question I want to answer right now is, how bad is junk food really? So I figured the best way to go about this was to compare 5 of the most popular fast food items.
There's one in this list that I think is a lot healthier than the others. I've always seen Subway as the healthy option. Like these other 4, just bad. Subway, there's a few good things you can get there. Grilled chicken, you can get the healthy bun.
And then also I want to talk a bit about why these are so addictive, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's start with A&W. Their most popular item is the Teen Burger, which has a total of 920 calories. Next, Subway, I put in my order a
Teen Burger at 920 calories? I wonder how much the adult burger is. Laugh at my joke. Yo, laugh at it. Yo.
6-inch chicken teriyaki sub, and that came to a total of 956 calories. The iconic Big Mac comes to a total of 1,120 calories. And then lastly, we have Burger King and the Whopper at 1,430, and the Baconator from Wendy's at 1,630.
Oh my, I didn't know it was that much. 1,600 for the Baconator? I thought Big Mac would have been, maybe because it's the most popular, the most. I'm assuming he's not saying the combo. I think he just means the burger on its own, right? Yo, should I do a challenge where I do 5 Whoppers? 5 Whoppers in one sitting challenge. I can't get up until I finish them. And this is me trying to stand up after.
Now, I should say these are all meals. I wanted to keep the metrics relatively similar, so it includes fries and a soft drink. Just looking at these numbers, you can see just how damaging these foods actually are. Keep in mind, with the average activity levels of an American male, you're supposed to only get 2,500 calories a day. 1,630 is way too much for one meal. But calories are...
Yeah, I feel like the only time to eat a big burger like this, or the only time that's valid for that, is if you haven't eaten the rest of the day.
A somewhat mystical metric, and most people don't even know what it is. A calorie is a measure of potential energy that you consume in the food that you eat. So the amount of energy you get is going to be the same if it's 800 calories of fruit or 800 calories of McDonald's. However, that doesn't really mean...
Not true. The amount of energy you get, you're gonna feel way more energetic eating fruit than eating McDonald's. It is an energy unit, calories, technically. The macros specifically are what determine how you feel energy-wise. If you eat more carbs, you're gonna feel more energetic. More fruit, you're gonna feel more energetic. If you eat McDonald's, lots of protein, maybe even fiber in there, you're gonna feel a lot less energetic. You're gonna feel a little bit like slow. But 800 calories of fruit is a lot of freaking fruit.
Calories of fruit or 800 calories of McDonald's. However, that doesn't really mean much. The quality of the nutrients you're putting in your body has a much larger impact than calories. So if you eat salmon and veggies, for example, you're gonna get 800 calories of high quality nutrients, meaning you'll feel nourished and energetic. However, if you eat double the amount of calories from a fast food restaurant, your body's gonna be craving the good nutrients it needs to thrive, so you're gonna be hungry within an hour or 2, meaning you'll eat more, and thus begins that dangerous cycle. What fast food...
Yes, bro, because what he's saying is the nutrients in certain foods make you feel more full and satiated than in bad foods, like fast food, for example. And even if you eat more fast food, you'll still feel hungry because your body's not getting the nutrients it needs, even though the calories are higher.
Does contain is fat, sodium, and sugar, which are excellent at releasing dopamine in our brains, which makes us feel very happy. Should also say that a lot of drug addicts seek out dopamine in the drugs that they consume. You're starting
So if you like McDonald's, you like drugs. You're a drug addict. No, if you're addicted to fast food, that's the equivalent of liking cocaine. I'm joking, that's not the same thing.
to see where this is very problematic now. We feel hungry and we remember how good fast food made us feel, so what do? You seek out fast food again. Now, this isn't an accident. This is a scientific calculation that fast food companies put together to keep you hooked. But how do they get you in the first place? The key to good marketing for fast food companies is reducing barriers for customers. Fast food companies spend a ton of money every year on research and development to make the customer experience as smooth as possible. Their goal with this research is
All these guys at the table, how can we get America obesity rates higher? What steps can we take to make people more fat? Daryl, sir, my idea is we make bigger burgers and we make bigger humans. Amazing, Daryl. Love that idea from you.
research and development to make the customer experience as smooth as possible. Their goal with this research is to find pain points in their process which cause customers to reconsider their decisions. Starting with TV and social media ads. You see an ad for the new Flame.
The one that comes to mind when I think of these, putting the bad food on their menu in the front, so that's all you see at first, and then hiding the healthy options. The ones that make you want to come back are the ones that up your dopamine and all that stuff. America be the only country where they have to show the calories on the menu? I feel like that should be required for any country, to be honest, because it pisses me off when I'm looking at the menu and I don't know how many calories I'm getting from it.
To reconsider their decisions. Starting with TV and social media ads. You see an ad for the new Flame Grilled Ultra Charred Double Bacon Triple Cheese Mega Big Mac and you get a little bit interested. You
That's
probably
on the
won't get
menu?
it now, but
I need
it's in the
that.
back of your
What?
head and you'll probably remember it a bit later. Fast forward to a few days later and you're driving down the street. You see the golden arches and the big red sign. That triggers a happy memory in your brain from the last time you tried to eat
Rick,
McDonald's.
it's
And then you start to
psychological.
wonder, that burger I saw a few days ago, McDonald's. And then you start to wonder, that burger I saw a few days ago, what does the Ultra Char feel like? How does triple cheese taste? And you need to know. So you pull into the parking lot, and there's no
I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's like, what is ultra char? What is triple cheese? No, it's just, I want to eat something that tastes good and I want to enjoy what I'm eating. It's that simple. I want to put grease in my body. I want to put lard down my throat, right? I just want to put a big chunk of lard, a big fat piece of meat.
barriers to your entry process. The drive-thru takes away the barrier of getting out of your car. The small menu removes the barrier of having too many options and feeling overwhelmed.
Yes.
You know what you want, and you can get it. The whole way along that process, anything that makes you feel confused or frustrated, it's gone. Don't even worry about it. But the other side of that is, it's a deep
That's why the lemonade stand, it's a great model. You don't have to choose what drink you want. We just got one. Lemonade, homemade, country made. I'm not paid. I'm underpaid. Free labor. See, like, what am I on about?
American trait to want to have freedom to pick whatever you want. So why don't you let people customize it at a kiosk inside or customize their burger however they want? Chances are they're not actually going to use that freedom. But lifelong customers, people who will always keep coming back, that's another important piece of the puzzle.
Chat, the screen where you order your stuff, I'm not a fan of it. Takes too long. I prefer to go up to the person and tell them what I want because it's just like, man, I don't know if I'm inputting this the way I want to. I might have pressed the wrong thing. There's too many buttons.
So why don't you hand out toys with your kids' meals to give people a positive memory with your restaurant from the very beginning? And why don't you create a loyalty app that gives you free rewards for just
I never
coming
used that,
back
to be
all
honest.
the
That's too
time?
much
And
for me.
even with that, I had no idea that in 19
Yo, Tim Hortons gave me a card and it's like a card that you scan every time. And then on every like 8th order, you get a free coffee. I just never use it. I'm not a big fan of the loyalty stuff. It's too much to think about. Just take my money, give me my food. I don't want to do all this bonus stuff where it's like, oh, I get free points. Oh, I'm going to get a free freaking coffee. Let's go. I don't care about coffee.
1999, the CDC declared that there was an obesity epidemic brewing. That's 24 years ago. Study after study shows that junk food is causing people to get heart
Yo,
disease.
chat, if you're part of the obesity epidemic, put a 1 in the chat.
Study after study shows that junk food is causing people to get heart disease and other health complications. Super Size Me showed us exactly how bad this food is for you. I watched that in high school and elementary school. Those are cold hard facts that your marketing can't really beat.
They took that off the menu, though. There used to be a thing where it was like small, medium, large, and super size. And then they asked, do you want to supersize your meal for this much extra?
What if you don't need to beat it? What if there's no other option?
I'm having like
1 in 6 Americans live in what is called a food desert. Food deserts are areas where you have to go out of your way to get access to good, high-quality food. Food deserts are one half of what's called food insecurity, the other half being affordability. In an urban area, access to good, high-quality food. Food deserts are one half of what's called food insecurity, the other half being affordability. In an urban area, if you don't have a grocery store within 1 mile of your home, you're considered to be in a food desert. Now, maybe 1 mile away you have a Whole Foods. Great, right? Well, back in 2015, the New York
Whole Foods? Yo, Whole Foods? You think we have enough money to shop at Whole Foods? 3 oranges for a price of, 3 oranges, nice. How much does that cost? $12? $12 for 3 oranges? I better get superpowers when I eat those damn oranges. I better get the ability to fly. That's the problem. Healthy food that tastes good and is genuinely good for you is so inaccessible to the average human because of how much it costs that they're gonna go to the cheaper option that's faster. Oh, McDonald's? Give me that, bro. Easier, I don't have to cook. You ever heard of my goat, holy sheet?
City Consumer Affairs Department investigated Whole Foods for price gouging, and it was found that they charge 10 to 20% more than other grocery stores for comparable products. Price gouging, distance, and a lack of options make food insecurity a big problem in the United States. Options like McDonald's cost less than good organic food options, and the longest distance between McDonald's restaurants in the United States of America is 120 miles. That's like an hour and 45 minutes of driving. The problem isn't in marketing and health, it's in accessibility and cost.
Chat, how far is your closest grocery store? Mine is like genuinely 2 minutes down the street.
Now people are hooked on fast food and health problems are starting to rise. Where do you go from here? Well, every single year, half of the US sets New Year's resolutions based on fitness and weight loss, and 45 million people every year decide to take action with a dieting program. Companies like Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers were born out.
What an ad, first of all. Chat, put a 1 if you've achieved any of your New Year's resolutions. I don't think I've achieved 1.
To want to break. I don't think this is an accident. These foods are designed to be boring. These foods are designed to make you fail. You might be wondering, why would they construct a system that doesn't work? Wouldn't that make people not want to buy it? Touche. However, if you have people succeeding, does that not mean you lose the customers anyways? So who owns these dieting companies? I was wondering, and I was pretty mind blown at what I found. Jenny Craig was purchased by Nestle, the same Nestle that sells ice cream and other junk food.
Wait, so the people...
They own the dieting company. Now, Nestle is also a massive company, so it's not super surprising, but when I saw that, I burst out laughing. When I say that, it's probably not surprising to you that 90...
So the owner of iced tea... Wait, Nestle is the ice... Wait, Nestle is not iced tea, that's ice cream, right? It's the world's largest food and beverage company operating on... Okay, and they are the ones that are making a lot of these dieting apps. That's us. The meta theory here is that you create these dieting websites and programs for people to use, and then they guide them back to the food that they're selling, and it's an endless cycle of money that they're capitalizing on every step. Dude, they're genius. I get fat from your food. I want to get better. I buy your dieting program to try and get better, but the diet brings me back to the food, and then it just keeps happening.
5% of the people who enroll in these weight loss programs gain back all the weight that they intended to lose within the first 2 years. I've constructed this whole thing where it seems like you're in a system you can't break out of, but I promise you it's not impossible, and you can break out of it like today. And it doesn't require you being perfect either. I was always taught that inactivity was pretty normal in North American culture, so I never really cared to work out. And I was also blessed with high metabolism.
Chat, let's go on strike. No buying any food made by Nestle, and if you do, you're banned from the chat. No. I will not support you buying. Screw it, chat. Let's go on strike against food in general. No buying any food. If you buy food, you're banned from the chat, okay? If you eat food, you're banned from the chat. We're going on strike.
Normal in North American culture, so I never really cared to work out. And I was also blessed with high metabolism, so I ate like junk and it never made a difference. Eating too much of...
Does anyone else have that, chat? No matter how much junk food you eat, you don't get fat. When I was young, I got fat because I ate too many rows of Oreos. Get the Oreos in the milk, dip, eat. Dip, eat. 1 bite in them. Just speed running the whole row.
One source of food, especially low value carbs like fast food, means you'll be lacking in certain nutrients that are important for us to thrive. So having a balance between good protein sources like meats, beans, or even meat alternatives like tofu is very important to get protein sources. And on top of that, vegetables, fruits, nuts like you.
tofu. Yo, I'll die before I eat tofu. I'm not even trolling.
All that stuff, those help to give you other nutrients as well. You'll hear people who are vegetarian telling you that there's this one solution, or people who eat a lot of meat who tell you you shouldn't eat too many vegetables, but here's the reality. What do you like to eat? How can you tailor it so that it's something you can sustain? If you're not a fan of broccoli, don't force yourself to eat broccoli. It's all about finding the right things that can make it work for you. And of course, physical activity is also
Peanut butter and banana every day at 12 p.m.
pretty important. So yeah, the system is designed to fail, but it's possible to break free. And I know that if you're watching this and feeling maybe a little bit discouraged or maybe a little nervous, it's possible. You can do it. Anyways, if you enjoyed that video, I really enjoyed
W video, W channel. I've been someone that throughout my life has had up and downs with, you know, food. Had moments where I've eaten too much, gotten a little chunky, gotten a little skinny, gotten a little chunky, gotten a little skinny. It's never been extreme to the point where I've been obese, but I've definitely had different periods of my life. Especially when I was a little kid, I would just spam ketchup chips and Oreos, and I got tubby because of it. I think I was 10 years old. If you have the picture, send it. I feel like the best way to go about this kind of stuff, chat, eat stuff you like in regulation, or tailor healthy foods in a way where you're going to enjoy it. Because there's a lot of ways to prepare things that are better for you that you'll actually enjoy, instead of just jumping straight to the McDonald's every time you want to eat something you like.